Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the ninth episode of Last Period. So, in the last episode of Last Period, we had a beach episode, the swimsuit episode more to the point, and it was a lot of fun. We got to see tons of cute girls in cute swimsuits, having nice little conversations, some grabby photo shoots, and some Yuri misunderstandings. It was a lot of fun overall. I would say the only downside is there was a lot of characters that I wasn't sure if I was supposed to know who they are or not, but a lot of them, yeah, were for the game, so I wouldn't know. Sometimes like, okay, is that a character from the game or is that a character from a previous episode I just kind of forgot about? That was a little bit annoying sometimes, but that's like the only criticism I could possibly come up with from that. Otherwise, very, very nice episode. So, I'm not sure what this next episode is going to entail exactly, but I know it'll be enjoyable because the show has been pretty consistent on that. So, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, play. Well, they weren't in the last episode, so... Oh, shots fired now. Oh, damn. Uh, man, they need to work on their PR. Yeah, that was... I was actually about to say, yeah, that's just the periods. But of course I'm gonna have a high opinion of them. Huh, it's not terrible? Okay, yeah, that went downhill quickly. They're so proud of their enemies. I don't think you're getting through to them, Cabanella. Are they gonna know a training camp? That... That should light a fire under them. That's what it means. Guru. Well, yeah, you can't argue getting fired if that's the case. Well, we have our plot for the episode. The wise men try not to get fired. I love the jingle there. Yeah, the show continues to be very underrated. Still don't really understand why. I mean, I kind of get it, but it. I feel like it should be more popular than it is still. But yeah, we didn't get wise men in the last episode, so we should be getting plenty of them this episode. In fact, that was probably the reason why we didn't really get any last episode, so we'd be craving our wise men in this episode. Yeah, you can see how the periods grow in this opening, how they get better and better, they improve. Wise man, not so much. So, that's why they're flying behind. Expanding galaxy. Sounds amazing. That's not gonna happen if you get fired. So that's the current living situation. Okay, I'm a little bit jealous. The pay must be great. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were. The new supervisor. Should be fun. Who? Oh, Sonia. Not a Japanese name at all. I, I guess she'll whip them into shape. Of course she's an android, that makes sense. Well, the online reviews say so. Okay, that's some terrible spelling. Again, terrible spelling. I would never trust a review that can't spell, especially in Japanese when spelling mistakes are less common because of the nature of the language. I look forward to watching her use that whip on them. Well, of course. Black Panella. Are we all? Gotta love the call girl. Zooming in on the... oh, on that. Now I'm alone. Neither did I. True enough. Well, you were on a treadmill, so you weren't really slacking off right now, as opposed to the other two. You just said you didn't want to lose this job. That would be a step down, or 7. Are you gonna do something stupid? We can only hope. Yeah. Okay, I don't see Haru doing that. I don't follow the logic, but... oh, we jumped to this quickly. Man, Lisa's underestimating them. Yeah, tell her. They are confident. I guess she wiggles her finger when it's all covered by her sleeve. They know. They know what the wise men truly want out of this fight. That's right. I mean, she's an android, so that shouldn't have surprised me, but that still freaked me out for like half a second. Well, they've been beaten. Pretty easily. Thanks for the assist there, Choco. Don't sound too excited. Death Beam. uh... Well, that's hardly fair in a sword fight. Ah. Look like he did more damage than the guns. Well, maybe next time. Trying to suck up. I think he likes that idea. I noticed. I noticed. Oh, okay. I guess he's changed sides. I think everyone's starting to learn the way of the masochist here. Oh god, Jurado. Uh... I talk about having no pride. A little. Very close. Oh. So we're gonna get into this, like her cheating? Oh, well, I mean, it probably has something to do with that thing around her neck, but otherwise they wouldn't have zoomed in on it twice. Because, yeah, they have been getting way too many 5-star summons, so it'd be great if they actually reveal us a real reason for that. That's shoujo manga. Sunya's not that bad. She's there as well. Please sleep with the boohies. They just get bigger. uh, please do. I do think they got a little bit bigger. I don't know though. Sometimes with 2D animation, breast size can fluctuate anyway, but poor Yona. You know, maybe the enemy call girl is like sucking the luck from Iona. Maybe that's why she's getting such horrible roles and Lulu was getting the good ones. That could be it as well. Becoming a powerful period is certainly one life goal to have. Yeah, he's not one to give up. Because because Campanella likes them. Yeah, then shut up and obey me. Black Vanilla, go beat her up. Yeah. I doubt that's gonna... uh, man, it must suck to have a product that can literally say that to you. Uh, oh no. Lulana, do something. Wow, there was no hesitation there. She just immediately started running. Us androids, do you represent a faction here? Yeah, we have our takeover. uh, freaking Guru. Recently. Because he kisses her butt enough. Oh, nothing big though. Not to brag or anything, but I sell very well. We really are getting a robot takeover here. At least an attempted one. Come on, periods. You gotta save us. Is it? Yeah, she's a strong, independent android that needs no master. Okay, the episode title makes more sense now. I didn't get it at first, but I think I do now. Yeah, take that, Apple. Clearly. You can tell that just by looking at her chest size. I feel like they reversed those names in the translation, but whatever. Yeah, they have faith in Haru. Well, she should know since she's, you know, the two-timer. Sound like Haru. Yeah, that was definitely Haru. We're only just getting started. Yeah. Sure, but if you can't, then you can't. Soon enough, Haru will become a masochist as well at this rate. That's really not fair. What, Iwachan? I didn't quite catch that. Now that you got the gist of it. I feel like a sword would work well against a whip. You just cut it. Do your best. That would really hurt. I mean, that thing is small. What an honor. Oh, she's all tied up. I like how Black Campanella's position has improved. In my opinion. From my perspective, rather. Yeah, but they didn't. Oh my god, the ED is playing. Here we go. Now you know it's gonna get real. Then Kikazaru. Then Iwazaru. They're ready for combat. They can't show how much they've improved. Wise man. Well, you're a dirty traitor, so you had no right to complain. Yeah, we don't need their help. This is a wise man problem, and it's a wise man solution. It is. It is funny because usually for hype moments they play the anime opening, but since the ED is their thing, it plays the ED for them. I love it. You know, eventually. Self-proclaimed. Oh, jeez. That was cool. Uh, most epic fight scene we've gotten in the anime so far, of course, this is the Wise Man. Is there an echo out here? Apparently, these guys do. Is an android not a type of robot? I'll look up definitions after this. Because this is an android basically a robot that's intended to look like a human, but that's still technically a robot, right? Ugh. Gotta pay a lot for the repairs. She's behind you. Phrasing, but I think Carter's about to show up, hopefully. There we go. That was Black Vanilla, right? No, that was the Erika. That she is. Oh god, gotcha. That's the tipping point here. Well, it was implied. So Luluna's finally gonna make a call. That's a lot of yen. And they got bigger again. That was the most obvious increase. Nope. Rejected. Get wrecked. Don't we all? I'm sure they are. It's odd. Get wrecked. About the apple? Wow, I think it actually is referencing the Android operating system. I was joking at first, but I think that's actually what they're doing. That's probably the safest comment to make. Jesus. I think they're gonna blow any moment. It's kind of hard not to. Expanding universe, wow. Wow, it still has boobs. Yeah, take that thing down. That was actually as big as I thought it was. Yeah, Galaxy, Samsung. I was a little bit slow on fully figuring this out, but I got it eventually. Wow, oh my god. A reference to the Node phone that had a reputation of exploding. My god. At least I think that's what it was. Even if it's not, I'm gonna imagine that it was. It just makes too much sense. Well, I think it's been resolved, so... Just, wow. Can we all just get along? No. That's a no. Righto, as soon as I finish my apple. Indeed. No evil android overlord. Wow, the game. So that was the 9th episode of Last Period. And this episode, the focus was definitely on Wise Man, and their not so good track record and performance lately against the periods. So Black Vanilla kind of chewed them out about that and said, "Okay, if you don't get your act together in like a month, you're gone. You're gonna lose your cushy lifestyle. You'll be back on the streets, collecting cans and whatever you do, eating food out of dumpsters. You know, just whatever you poor people do." But she pretty much decided to hire an android, overlord to kind of train her, what do you want to call her, to oversee them and just kind of to help out the group pretty much. And none of the wise men were particularly happy about this. She was very strict. She had her whip that she was not afraid to use, and pretty much they actually set up a fight between her and the periods, thinking the periods are really strong now. They can definitely take down this evil android chick, Sonya, and no, they did not. They were defeated fairly easily, especially considering we later find out how much she was holding back because Black Vanilla told her to. Of course, some people warmed up to this Sonya lady pretty quickly, like Guru, for instance, and Gajiru. Both went full masochist and decided that she was their queen, you know, to step on them and whip them, slap them, spit on them maybe, I don't know, whatever they want, I guess. Eventually, we learned just how defective Sonya is, and she decided to have a hostile takeover of Black Vanilla's little evil organization here. And we learn all about all her plans on, you know, the world conquest pretty much, or galaxy conquest, you know, expanding galaxy and all that, as well as her expanding chest. So yeah, they're all tied up. Wise men try to enlist some help from Haru and the gang, but they just kind of came back and said, no, we got this. We can take them down. And the wise man ED starts playing, and they just go for it. And of course, they didn't accomplish a huge amount or anything. But then the periods did show up and were able to help. And in the end, it all worked out. And yeah, the day was saved. However, an interesting thing with this episode is the fact that Android obviously has its classic meaning of a robot that looks like a human. However, there's also an underlying thing in this episode where Android is that operating system for phones. Like, probably the most widely used operating system. I don't have any facts in front of me to back that up, but it's in a lot of phones, I'll just say that. And our main competitor would be Apple. So that leads to some interesting scenes like Luluna saying she doesn't like Android, and then it just zooms into the Apple, and then you have that look of disgust on Sonya's face. That was actually pretty funny. And all of Sonya's talk about galaxies and stuff made a lot more sense when it, you know, finally clicked in my head. Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy, the high-end Samsung phone with the Android operating system. It all made a lot more sense at that point. I'll admit I was pretty slow on figuring out a lot of the stuff, but I did get it eventually. It's better to be slow than to never get it at all. That's my justification. But yeah, it was some pretty funny stuff. I do think when Shoko said something about you can't breathe on airplanes, I think that was a reference to the Samsung Note phone that had a reputation of exploding. I assume so. I have very little evidence to back that up, but that's just immediately where my mind went. But anyway, it was an interesting episode. I mean, as somebody that prefers the Android operating system over Apple's iOS, I have mixed feelings about the Android being the bad guy of the episode, but, you know, it's whatever. I'm not going to be offended or anything by that. That's ridiculous. It's just a fun, lighthearted comedy anime after all. Of course, it's very fitting to have this whole Android versus Apple kind of thing in the show because Last Period is based off of a smartphone video game. And I imagine the developers might have a preference. In this case, it seemed like their preference would be Apple. Also, we kind of addressed the thing with Luluna and the Wise Men team. They were like always summoning the 5-star calls, the minions, which, you know, they didn't really address why they've been so lucky. It's all just kind of been assumed that it doesn't really make sense because they usually would do the calls on the fly, right, in the battle. So the theory that they just kept doing calls with their vast amounts of money until they got a good one wouldn't really make sense because then they would have to do something with all the non-good ones, but. So yeah, I think the implication there might be something like something to do with the operating system. Like maybe they're implying that we've been doing Android calls and Android is more open, so you can hack it and cheat. Or they're implying Apple is better, so that naturally Apple can get all the good ones the first time. Like I assume it's one of those two. I don't know. It could go either way. But yeah, Luluna's obviously a fan of apples. You have freaking apple trees in her room, which confused me a lot at first, but once I realized what the episode was going for, that made a lot more sense. You know, when it had her biting an apple, zooming on the apple, and the upset-looking android, it was just wow. I mean, definitely one of the weaker episodes, I would say, but that's not because it was a bad episode, it was just because most of the episodes in this series have been really good. But still an enjoyable episode, especially with that cool Wise Man stuff at the end with the ED playing and them just battling with each other. That was probably the highlight for me. But yeah, next episode, it was called Happy Elements, or something like that, which are the developers behind the Last Period game, so. I can only imagine what that episode's going to entail. Probably a lot of fourth wall, like even more fourth wall and meta jokes than usual, if you can believe that. That's kind of what I expect. It should be interesting nonetheless, so can't wait for it. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, the Dragon of Oshu, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.